Love, a topic that we all have experienced at least once, but do you really understand it? Why are some relationships strong, while others are easily broken? Every woman dreams of a partner who will stand beside her, not just in moments of passion, but through life's most uncertain seasons. But how do you know if the man you love has what it takes to be not just a good boyfriend, but a truly great husband? It's not about grand gestures or perfect words. It's about the quiet, consistent signs he shows you every single day. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful traits that reveal whether the man you're with is ready to build a life, a future, and a lasting love with you. Welcome to the channel, Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is where you will find valuable lessons and secrets to help you build a truly lasting love. In today's video, Sophia will explore with you 7 signs a man has the potential to be a great husband. Don't miss out on advice that can change the way you perceive and live in love. You will definitely feel more comfortable when you find a quiet place and put on your headphones. Let yourself relax and be ready to receive the positive messages in today's video. Are you ready to embark on this journey with Sophia? Let's get started together. Sign 1. He genuinely respects you. When it comes to a lasting, meaningful relationship, love alone is never enough. Respect is the invisible thread that weaves through every successful marriage, quietly holding it together when passion fades and daily life takes over. A man who genuinely respects you is already demonstrating one of the most powerful signs that he can become a great husband. Respect is not always loud or grandiose. It often shows up in the quietest of ways, in the way he listens to you, the way he values your opinions, and the way he treats you in public and private. If a man truly respects you, he will never belittle your dreams, dismiss your feelings, or treat your boundaries as if they are optional. Instead, he will honor who you are, even when you disagree or make mistakes. One of the clearest signs of genuine respect is how attentively he listens when you speak. He doesn't just wait for his turn to talk. He is present. He looks you in the eye. He shows curiosity and care, not because he's trying to impress you, but because your thoughts matter to him. He doesn't interrupt or invalidate your emotions. He seeks to understand, not just to respond. Respect also means valuing your individuality. A man who sees you as his equal, not someone to control or change, is laying the foundation for a healthy partnership. He understands that you are your own person, with your own goals, passions, and values. He supports your journey, even if it's different from his own. He doesn't feel threatened by your independence or success. Instead, he celebrates it. That's because he doesn't see love as a power struggle, but as a team effort built on mutual admiration. Watch how he behaves during disagreements. Does he raise his voice or insult you when he's upset? Or does he remain calm, even when emotions run high? A man who respects you doesn't use anger as a weapon. He doesn't throw past mistakes in your face or try to manipulate you with guilt. Even when he's frustrated, he speaks with care. He argues to resolve, not to dominate. Another subtle but telling sign of respect is how he talks about you to others. A man who truly respects you will speak well of you when you're not around. He won't joke at your expense or share your personal issues with friends or family. Instead, he protects your dignity and builds your image, not just in your presence but also in your absence. That consistency speaks volumes. Respect also means honoring your time and priorities. He doesn't assume you're always available or treat your schedule as less important than his. He doesn't guilt-trip you for spending time with family, friends, or for investing in your career or passions. A respectful man understands that you had a full life before him, and he encourages you to keep nurturing it, even as you build a life together. Physical boundaries are another area where respect reveals itself. A man who respects you will never pressure you into anything you're uncomfortable with. He'll listen when you say no and won't push or guilt you into changing your mind. He understands that intimacy, whether physical or emotional, must be built on trust and consent, not pressure and persuasion. His respect also shows in the small things. He remembers the little details you've told him, not because he has to, but because he pays attention. He doesn't mock your insecurities or treat your fears as silly. If something matters to you, it matters to him. That's what respect looks like in daily life. It's not always poetic. Sometimes it's in doing the dishes when you're tired, or letting you vent without offering solutions, or simply showing up when he says he will. In the long run, respect is more sustainable than romance. Looks may fade, and feelings may fluctuate, but respect can carry a relationship through the most difficult seasons. A man who respects you is not perfect, but he is committed to treating you with dignity, even when it's inconvenient or hard. He is aware of your value and does not take your presence for granted. So, if you're with someone who genuinely respects you, cherish it. Because that respect is the seed from which deep love, trust, and partnership can grow. It is a sign not just of his character, but of his potential to be a husband who doesn't just love you, but honors you through every stage of life. Everyone has a different perspective, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Leave a comment below and let's discuss. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join me in the next videos. Let's continue together. Sign 2. He takes responsibility for his own life. A man who takes responsibility for his own life is not only building a better version of himself, but also proving that he has the foundation to become a great husband. Responsibility is not about perfection. It is about owning your actions, being accountable for your choices, and not blaming others when things go wrong. In a relationship, this quality becomes the cornerstone of trust, stability, and growth. When a man takes responsibility, he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't point fingers when he fails or shift blame when situations become difficult. Instead, he reflects on what he could have done better and takes steps to improve. This shows emotional maturity. It tells you that he is capable of handling real-life challenges, not just the good times but also the storms that every relationship inevitably faces. You can see this sense of responsibility in how he manages his everyday life. He shows up to work on time. He handles his finances with care. He keeps his promises and follows through on commitments. He doesn't need constant reminders to take care of important tasks. He is dependable. This kind of consistency may not seem flashy or exciting, but it builds a sense of security that is essential in a long-term partnership. A responsible man also takes care of his physical and mental well-being. He doesn't rely on others to rescue him or fix his problems. He knows when to ask for help, but he also knows when it's time to take initiative. Whether it's maintaining his health, dealing with emotional baggage, or working on personal goals, he takes ownership of his growth. That's because he understands that before he can be a good partner, he needs to be a whole person. Another key aspect of responsibility is financial stability. While wealth is not a requirement for love, the way a man handles money says a lot about his values and long-term thinking. A man who spends recklessly, lives without a budget, or avoids planning for the future may not be ready to handle the financial pressures of marriage. On the other hand, a man who saves, invests wisely, and lives within his means is showing you that he's thinking beyond today. He's building a life, not just living one day at a time. Look closely at how he deals with failure. Does he take ownership when things go wrong, or does he always have someone else to blame? A responsible man is not afraid to admit when he's wrong. He apologizes sincerely, not just to end an argument, but because he genuinely wants to make things right. He learns from his mistakes and uses them as opportunities for growth. This ability to self-correct is critical in marriage, where humility and learning are part of the journey. Responsibility also means taking care of the people around him. A man who is responsible doesn't just think about himself. He shows up for his family, friends, and community. He honors his commitments to others and tries to make a positive impact wherever he can. He doesn't disappear when someone needs help. He doesn't make promises he cannot keep. And when he commits to a relationship, he treats it as a serious commitment, not something casual or temporary. In a romantic relationship, a responsible man does not run away at the first sign of discomfort. He doesn't ghost you when things get hard or emotionally complicated. Instead, he faces the situation with maturity. He communicates honestly, even when it's difficult. He works through problems, not around them. He values resolution over avoidance, and growth over convenience. A man who takes responsibility for his life also has a vision for the future. He may not have all the answers, but he is working towards something meaningful. He has goals and plans, and he's actively pursuing them. He's not floating through life waiting for things to happen. He's making things happen. That drive and direction are signs that he is capable of building a stable future with someone else. Importantly, taking responsibility is not the same as being controlling or rigid. A responsible man is flexible when necessary, but firm in his values. He is not afraid to take the lead when required, but he also knows how to collaborate and listen. He recognizes that being responsible doesn't mean doing everything alone, it means being aware of how your actions affect others and being willing to do your part to create harmony. In a world where many people are quick to shift blame or avoid accountability, finding a man who takes full responsibility for his life is a rare and valuable gift. This quality is not just attractive, it is essential. It is what allows a man to be a reliable partner, a steady father, and a true teammate in the journey of life. So when you see a man who owns his past, stands firm in the present, and actively builds for the future, pay attention. He's not just a man living his life, he's preparing for something greater. And that something greater could very well include you. If you are still watching the video, do not hesitate to comment continue. Leave your thoughts and questions below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing your opinions, and do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia has more motivation to create more good and meaningful videos. Let's continue together. Sign 3. He controls his emotions and handles conflict maturely. One of the most underrated yet powerful signs of a man's readiness for marriage is how he manages his emotions and responds to conflict. Anyone can be kind and calm when everything is going well. But when pressure builds, emotions flare, and disagreements arise, true character is revealed. A man who knows how to control his emotions and navigate conflict with maturity is not just emotionally intelligent, he is also husband material. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending not to care. It means being aware of what you're feeling and choosing how to respond rather than react. It means recognizing when anger is rising and stepping back instead of lashing out. A man who possesses this ability brings a calming presence to a relationship. He doesn't create unnecessary drama, and more importantly, he doesn't escalate it. In any long-term relationship, conflict is inevitable. You are two different people with unique histories, preferences, and ways of thinking. Disagreements will happen, but the way they are handled determines whether the relationship grows stronger or breaks apart. A man who handles conflict maturely doesn't fight to win. He fights to understand. His goal is not to hurt or dominate, but to resolve, repair, and move forward. Pay attention to how he responds during arguments. Does he resort to shouting, name-calling, or bringing up past mistakes just to gain the upper hand? Or does he take a moment to breathe, listen, and speak with clarity and respect? A man who handles conflict with maturity understands that words can wound deeply. He chooses them carefully. Even when he is upset, he maintains a level of composure that signals emotional discipline. Maturity in conflict also means he is not defensive when you express how you feel. He doesn't accuse you of being too sensitive or twist the narrative to make himself the victim. Instead, he listens. He acknowledges your emotions, even if he doesn't fully agree. He validates your experience because he understands that a healthy relationship is not about being right all the time, it's about being there for each other. A man who can control his emotions doesn't view vulnerability as weakness. He is comfortable expressing himself honestly. He is not afraid to say when he feels hurt, confused, or overwhelmed. This kind of openness fosters trust. You never feel like you're walking on eggshells around him because you know that even during conflict, he will treat you with care and respect. Another sign of maturity is his ability to apologize sincerely. Not every man can do this. It takes strength to admit fault, especially when pride gets in the way. But a man who is emotionally mature doesn't let pride ruin something valuable. He takes responsibility when he's wrong and makes an effort to change, not just promise. He doesn't say "I'm sorry" just to end an argument. He says it because he genuinely wants to make things right. Mature conflict resolution also involves patience. Sometimes emotions need time to settle before a meaningful conversation can happen. A mature man recognizes this. He doesn't force a discussion when either of you is too angry to think clearly. He gives space when needed but doesn't withdraw or stonewall. He remains engaged, waiting for the right moment to reconnect and talk things through with clarity and compassion. Importantly, he does not use silence as a weapon. Emotional maturity means knowing the difference between taking space to process and using distance to punish. The silent treatment is a form of control and manipulation. A man who is husband material communicates directly. Even if he needs time to cool off, he lets you know that he's still committed to working things out. You'll also see his maturity in how he treats you during your low moments. He doesn't mirror your anger with more anger. He doesn't use your emotional reactions as an excuse to dismiss your concerns. Instead, he grounds the relationship when things feel shaky. His emotional strength becomes a stabilizing force. He chooses connection over ego, healing over blame. In a marriage, you will face life's toughest moments together: stress, financial pressure, misunderstandings, family issues. A man who can remain emotionally grounded during those times, who can listen without judgment, who can speak without cruelty, is a man who will protect the emotional safety of your relationship. That kind of safety is rare and irreplaceable. So if you are with a man who stays calm in chaos, who communicates instead of explodes, who listens instead of lectures, and who works through problems with you, not against you, then you are witnessing a deeply valuable trait. He's not just emotionally stable. He's emotionally generous. He's not just avoiding conflict. He's transforming it into an opportunity for deeper understanding and closeness. This is the man who will sit beside you, not across from you, when life gets hard. This is the man who will fight for the relationship, not against it. And this is the man who, when he says "I do," truly understands the weight and beauty of those words. Sign 4. He cares about your feelings and needs. In a world where emotional detachment is often mistaken for strength, finding a man who genuinely cares about your feelings and needs is not only refreshing, it is essential for a lasting relationship. A man who is attuned to your emotional world and sensitive to what matters to you is demonstrating far more than kindness. He is showing empathy, compassion, and emotional intelligence, qualities that are fundamental for a healthy and enduring marriage. When a man truly cares about how you feel, it shows in the smallest of moments. He notices when your tone changes. He picks up on your silence. He asks how your day was, not out of obligation, but because he genuinely wants to know. He wants to understand what makes you happy, what upsets you, and what brings you comfort. Your emotional world is not a burden to him. It is something he values and wants to be a part of. Caring about your feelings also means he listens when you speak. Not just with his ears, but with his presence. He gives you his full attention. He doesn't scroll through his phone or offer half-hearted responses. He listens to the words you say and also to what's behind them. When you share something that hurt you, he doesn't brush it off or minimize it. Instead, he seeks to understand why it hurt and what you need from him in that moment. Empathy is the foundation of this kind of care. A man who truly empathizes with you tries to step into your shoes. He may not always fully understand your emotions, but he respects them. He never tells you that you're too emotional or that you're overreacting. He knows that your feelings are valid because they are yours. He doesn't try to fix you or correct how you feel. He simply wants to support you. Needs go hand in hand with feelings. Emotional needs, physical needs, relational needs, they all matter. A man who cares pays attention to the things that make you feel loved. Maybe it's words of affirmation, quality time, thoughtful gestures, or simply being held when you're overwhelmed. Whatever your love language is, he makes the effort to speak it. Not because he is perfect, but because he is intentional. Importantly, he does not dismiss or ignore your needs when they are inconvenient for him. If you express that you need more communication, more patience, or more reassurance, he doesn't respond with defensiveness. He listens, reflects, and asks how he can do better. This willingness to adapt and respond is a clear sign of emotional investment. He is not just trying to keep you around. He is trying to make you feel secure, valued, and seen. In everyday life, caring about your needs might look like small acts of service, bringing you coffee when you're tired, staying quiet when he knows you need space, or offering encouragement when you doubt yourself. These gestures may seem minor, but they carry deep meaning. They are proof that he's paying attention and that your well-being is on his mind, even when he's busy or stressed himself. Conflict is another area where this sign becomes crystal clear. In moments of disagreement, does he shut down when you cry, or does he try to understand what's behind the tears? Does he walk away when you express hurt, or does he stay and listen, even if it's uncomfortable? A man who genuinely cares will not run from your emotions. He will make space for them. He may not always have the right words, but he will stay present and try. Caring for your feelings also means honoring your boundaries. If something makes you uncomfortable, he doesn't try to convince you otherwise. He respects your no without needing explanation. He doesn't manipulate or guilt you into changing your mind. Your peace matters to him, and he understands that love is not about control, it's about mutual respect. It's also important to note that a man who cares about your needs is proactive, not just reactive. He doesn't wait until you break down or explode to realize something is wrong. He checks in. He asks if you're okay. He notices patterns and anticipates what you might need before you even ask. This level of attentiveness shows that he is not just in a relationship for himself. He is invested in your emotional well-being. When a man consistently shows that he cares about your feelings and needs, he is building emotional safety. You feel like you can be your full self around him, joyful, vulnerable, frustrated, excited, without fear of judgment or rejection. This kind of emotional safety is what makes a house feel like home. It's what turns love from a fleeting emotion into a lifelong connection. So if you're with a man who takes time to understand your heart, who listens to your worries, who adjusts his actions to support you, and who sees your emotions as a beautiful part of who you are, then you're with someone truly rare. He may not have all the answers, and he will make mistakes like everyone else. But his effort, his presence, and his heart are in the right place. That kind of man doesn't just love you. He cherishes you. And in the journey of life and love, that makes all the difference. Sign 5. He has a long-term vision and prioritizes family. Love is often described as a feeling, but when it comes to building a lasting marriage, love must also be a commitment. It is about shared goals, a united vision, and a willingness to prioritize something greater than individual desires. A man who has a long-term vision and places family at the center of that vision is not just dreaming, he is preparing. He is laying the groundwork for a future that includes stability, connection, and meaning. This kind of man doesn't just talk about the future vaguely. He speaks with intention. He has plans, both personal and shared. He doesn't shy away from conversations about marriage, children, and building a life together. Instead, he welcomes them. Not because he's in a hurry, but because he sees your relationship as part of a much bigger picture, one that is rooted in commitment and guided by purpose. Having a long-term vision means he thinks beyond the moment. He's not just chasing pleasure or short-term gratification. He's making decisions based on where he wants to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. He makes sacrifices when necessary. He saves, he plans, and he works not just for today's rewards, but for tomorrow's stability. This kind of forward thinking is one of the clearest signs of emotional and relational maturity. A man who prioritizes family doesn't view relationships as distractions from his goals. Instead, he sees family as a central part of his mission in life. He doesn't just want to succeed alone. He wants to build something meaningful with someone by his side. He values deep connections over fleeting moments. He understands that true legacy is not in wealth or titles, but in the love and unity he creates within his home. You will see this priority in the way he manages his time. He doesn't always put work or personal hobbies above the people he loves. Even when he's busy, he makes room for you. He shows up for family events, makes time for conversations, and keeps his word when he says he'll be there. He understands that presence is more important than perfection. He knows that attention, time, and consistency are the true currencies of love. A long-term vision also includes emotional investment. He wants to grow with you, not just have fun with you. He is willing to face difficult conversations, explore future plans, and work through fears or uncertainties together. He's not afraid of the tough stuff, financial planning, conflict resolution, or setting boundaries with extended family. In fact, he sees these challenges as necessary steps toward building a healthy, thriving family. This man is not just dreaming of a wedding. He is preparing for a marriage. He is not just interested in romantic dinners. He is ready to support you through sleepless nights, family decisions, and the growing pains that come with building a life together. His love is rooted in realism. He knows that family life won't always be easy, but he still chooses it. He still chooses you. You can often tell a man prioritizes family by how he treats his own. Whether it's his parents, siblings, or even friends who are like family, observe the level of respect and care he shows. Does he show up when they need him? Does he speak kindly about them even when they're not perfect? These behaviors reveal how he values relationships, and how he's likely to behave in a future family of his own. A man with a long-term vision is also a man of consistency. He doesn't make promises he cannot keep. He doesn't disappear when life gets hard. He is steady, grounded, and thoughtful. You can count on him not just during celebrations, but also in moments of struggle. He becomes a source of strength when everything else feels uncertain. This kind of man understands that prioritizing family does not mean abandoning his dreams. Rather, it means aligning his dreams with the well-being of those he loves. He includes you in his future plans. He asks for your opinions, values your perspective, and wants you to feel secure in the life you are building together. His vision is not about control. It's about collaboration. There's something incredibly powerful about a man who sees love as a long game. He is not trying to win your heart for a season. He is building a life where your heart can rest safely for a lifetime. His goals may change, and life will certainly throw challenges your way. But his commitment to you, and to the idea of family, will remain at the center of everything he does. So if you are with a man who thinks ahead, who talks openly about building a life together, and who shows, through words and actions, that family comes first, then you are with someone rare and special. He is not just in love with the idea of love. He is in love with the journey of growing, giving, and creating something lasting. And in a world that often glorifies the temporary, a man like that is a gift worth cherishing. Sign 6. He is willing to learn and change for the better. No one enters a relationship as a perfect partner. We all carry habits, flaws, and patterns shaped by our past. What separates a man who is ready for marriage from one who is not his perfection, but his willingness to grow. A man who is open to learning and changing for the better is someone who is emotionally available, humble, and committed to becoming the best version of himself, not just for his own sake, but for the well-being of the relationship. This kind of man doesn't see feedback as an attack. He doesn't get defensive when you express your needs or concerns. Instead, he listens with the intention to understand. He may not get everything right the first time, but he tries. He takes your words to heart and reflects on how he can be more supportive, more attentive, or more present. That effort speaks volumes about his character. Being willing to change is not about losing oneself to please another. It's about self-awareness and accountability. A man who is willing to change recognizes that growth is a lifelong journey. He understands that relationships require adaptation and that love demands more than just good intentions. It demands action, learning, and the courage to evolve. You'll see his willingness to learn in how he handles mistakes. He doesn't pretend they didn't happen. He owns them. He apologizes with sincerity and follows through with real change. He understands that "I'm sorry" means little without different behavior. So he does the work. He reads, he reflects, he adjusts his habits, not because he has to, but because he values your happiness and the relationship you are building together. This kind of man seeks knowledge, not just in his career or hobbies, but in emotional and relational matters. He wants to be a better communicator, a better listener, a better partner. He doesn't view emotional growth as something for women only. He sees it as essential to being a strong and reliable man. He is not afraid to explore difficult conversations, therapy, or self-help tools if it means strengthening your bond. Willingness to grow also shows in how he reacts when confronted with uncomfortable truths. Maybe he has been emotionally unavailable. Maybe he struggles with anger or avoids vulnerability. Instead of shutting down or blaming others, he takes a hard look at himself and asks, "How can I improve?" That question is powerful. It is the seed of lasting transformation. This trait becomes especially important in long-term relationships where challenges will arise. Life changes. People evolve. Circumstances shift. A man who is rigid, who refuses to adapt, or who holds tightly to old ways of thinking, will inevitably create tension and distance. But a man who approaches life with flexibility, curiosity, and humility will continue to grow alongside you. He won't leave you behind or expect you to do all the emotional labor. He will meet you in the middle, ready to rise to the occasion. Even in moments of disagreement, this man remains teachable. He listens to your perspective without trying to prove you wrong. He values what you say even when it challenges his ego. He might not agree with everything immediately, but he takes time to reflect and revisit the issue with a more open heart. That openness makes resolution possible. It makes healing possible. A man who is committed to growth also encourages you to grow. He doesn't feel threatened by your evolution. He celebrates it. He wants you to be your best self, and he supports your goals, passions, and personal development. He understands that two people becoming better individually only strengthens the relationship as a whole. One of the most admirable things about a man like this is that he doesn't wait for a crisis to start growing. He actively seeks improvement even when things are going well. He's not content with being good enough. He wants to be excellent, not to prove his worth, but to honor the love he has for you. His growth is an expression of love in action. Change is never easy. It requires self-discipline, reflection, and emotional effort. But when a man willingly puts in that effort, it's a sign of deep love and maturity. It means he's not just in this relationship for convenience. He's in it for the long haul. He wants to build something meaningful and lasting, and he knows that starts with himself. So if you are with a man who listens when you speak, who reflects instead of reacts, who asks how he can be better and then puts those words into action, you are with someone who holds the potential for a strong, lasting marriage. You are with someone who values growth over ego, progress over perfection. In the end, it is not about finding someone who is already everything you need. It's about finding someone who is willing to become that person, with you, for you, and because of the love you share. That is the kind of man who turns a relationship into a lifelong partnership. Sign 7. He loves you unconditionally, even when you are not perfect. In the beginning stages of love, everything feels effortless. You are admired, cherished, and seen through the lens of excitement and idealism. But over time, the masks fall away, and your true self, flaws and all, begins to show. The man who continues to love you when your makeup is off, your emotions are raw, and your confidence wavers is the man who understands what real love looks like. He doesn't just love the idea of you. He loves you in your entirety. Unconditional love is not blind. It does not mean ignoring mistakes or accepting harmful behavior. It means choosing to stay present and loving, even when the situation is difficult or when the person you love is going through a hard time. A man who loves unconditionally does not withdraw his affection when you fall short of expectations. He doesn't make you feel like love is something you must earn by being perfect. This kind of love shows up quietly and consistently. He loves you on your bad days just as much as he does on your good ones. He doesn't make you feel ashamed when you're overwhelmed, anxious, or unsure of yourself. Instead, he creates a space where you can be real, where you can cry, be silent, or speak your truth without fear of being judged or abandoned. You'll see it in the way he reacts when you are not at your best. When you are emotional, irritable, or struggling with self-doubt, he doesn't pull away or respond with annoyance. He asks what you need. He offers comfort. He reminds you of your worth. He doesn't love a version of you that only exists when you're happy or put together. He loves you because of who you are, not in spite of it. A man who loves unconditionally knows that imperfections are part of being human. He doesn't use your flaws against you. He doesn't keep score or weaponize your weaknesses during arguments. Instead, he protects your vulnerabilities. He speaks to you with gentleness when you're fragile and encourages you to grow without demanding that you change everything about yourself. In a world where love is often transactional, given only when things are easy or emotions are high, this kind of love is rare. It is steady, quiet, and incredibly powerful. It does not waver based on your appearance, your accomplishments, or your mood. It is rooted in something deeper, a genuine desire to walk with you through life's ups and downs, to support you in becoming your true self, and to be there, no matter what. Unconditional love also shows in how he forgives. He doesn't hold your mistakes over your head. He doesn't define you by your worst moments. While he may feel hurt or disappointed at times, as all people do, he chooses compassion over resentment. He chooses understanding over punishment. He is capable of looking at the whole of who you are, not just one bad day or one mistake. This kind of love is not dramatic or flashy. It may not always look like a grand romantic gesture. Often, it's found in quiet moments, him holding your hand after a hard day, staying up to talk when you're anxious, or bringing you food when you're too tired to cook. These small acts, repeated over time, become the foundation of a love that is unwavering and safe. When a man loves you unconditionally, he doesn't try to mold you into someone you're not. He supports your growth, but he doesn't require you to change just to earn his affection. He celebrates who you are now and believes in who you are becoming. He doesn't compare you to others or wish you were someone else. He sees your uniqueness as something to treasure, not something to fix. This doesn't mean he agrees with everything or avoids conflict. On the contrary, unconditional love allows room for honest communication and healthy disagreement. But even when he is upset or you're in the middle of an argument, his love remains constant. He may be frustrated, but he is never cruel. He may feel distant, but he never makes you feel unloved. That consistency is the hallmark of someone who is emotionally safe and truly devoted. Unconditional love is not about perfection. It is about presence. A man who stays through the mess, who continues to choose you when you are hurting, doubting, or uncertain, is the kind of man who understands love as a verb. He shows up. He holds space. He remains kind when it would be easier to walk away. If you find yourself with a man who sees your soul and doesn't flinch, who embraces your imperfections and still holds your hand, you are witnessing a love that many only dream of. He is not just in love with you. He is committed to you. Through the changes, the growth, the breakdowns, and the breakthroughs, he chooses you again and again. And in a world where love is often conditional, temporary, and performance-based, that kind of love is nothing short of extraordinary. Conclusion. In a world filled with fleeting connections and surface-level romance, finding a man with the qualities of a great husband is a rare and beautiful thing. Love alone is never enough to build a lifelong partnership. It takes character, consistency, emotional maturity, and a deep sense of responsibility. The kind of man who becomes a great husband is not perfect, but he is willing. Willing to grow, to listen, to support, and to love you not just at your best, but also at your most vulnerable. He respects you not because he has to, but because he truly values who you are. He takes responsibility for his life, showing you that he can also take responsibility for your shared future. He manages his emotions with wisdom, turning conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding. He genuinely cares about your feelings and needs, making you feel safe, seen, and valued every day. He thinks long-term, placing love and family at the center of his decisions. He embraces change, continuously working to become a better partner. And most importantly, he loves you unconditionally, not for what you do, but for who you are. If you found someone who embodies these signs, cherish him. And if you're still searching, know that these men exist, and you deserve nothing less than a love that grows deeper with time and stronger through every season. Because a truly great husband is not found by luck. He is revealed through the quiet, steady way he chooses to love, every single day. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope you found some useful lessons about love and relationships. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I appreciate your support and will continue to bring valuable content in future videos. Please continue to join me on my journey to learn about love and relationships. See you soon, and I wish you happiness.